Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're embarking on an epic journey to uncover the entire history of Southeast Asia. From ancient empires, born of trade winds, to the rise and fall of powerful kingdoms, and the profound impact of colonization. It's a story brimming with resilience, innovation, and vibrant culture. Get ready to dive deep into a region that has shaped global history in more ways than you might imagine. So, where do we begin? Our tale starts millennia ago, with the very first. Imagine lush rainforests and vast coastlines, perfect for early human settlement. The true genesis of Southeast Asia as a distinct historical entity. However, really kicks off with the rise of trade. Long before the Europeans, these lands were the beating heart of a global network. Think of it. The Spice Islands, the Silk Routes, the maritime highways connecting east and west. Early traders from India and China didn't just exchange goods. They brought ideas, religions, and technologies. This cultural fusion, often called Indianization and laid the groundwork for many of the region's early kingdoms. Let's talk about those early kingdoms. One of the earliest and most influential was Funan, flourishing around the 1st to 6th centuries in what is now Cambodia and Vietnam. It was a sophisticated maritime trading state, strategically positioned on key shipping routes. Following Funan, we see the rise of powerful empires, like the Khmer Empire, famous for the breathtaking Angkor Wat. For centuries, the Khmer kings ruled vast territories, leaving behind an architectural legacy that still amazes us today. Their sophisticated hydraulic engineering, allowing for massive rice cultivation, supported a huge population and military. But Southeast Asia wasn't just about the mainland. The maritime kingdoms were equally, if not more, significant. Take Srivijaya, based in Sumatra, Indonesia, from the 7th to 13th centuries. This was a thalassocracy, a sea empire, controlling vital straits and dominating maritime trade. Imagine bustling ports filled with merchants from Arabia, India, and China, all converging on Srivijayan harbors. They were not just economic powerhouses. Srivijaya was also a major center for Buddhist learning, attracting scholars from across Asia. As Srivijaya waned, new powers emerged. On Java, the Majapahit Empire, peaking in the 14th century, rose to become one of the greatest empires in Indonesian history. They controlled a vast archipelago, fostering a unique blend of Hindu and Buddhist cultures. Meanwhile, on the mainland, the Burmese, Thai, and Vietnamese kingdoms were consolidating their power. The pagan kingdom in Myanmar, the Sukhothai, and Ayutthaya kingdoms in Thailand, and the Jivaid in Vietnam all developed their distinct identities, often through a mix of internal development and sometimes conflict with their neighbors. These kingdoms weren't isolated. They were constantly interacting through trade, diplomacy, and yes, sometimes warfare. The spread of Islam from the 13th century onwards brought another profound transformation, especially to the maritime regions. Muslim traders and Sufi missionaries played a crucial role, and by the 15th century, powerful sultanates like Malacca emerged as major Islamic centers and trading hubs, further cementing Southeast Asia's role in the global economy. Then came the seismic shift, the arrival of European powers. In the early 16th century, the Portuguese were the first to arrive, seizing Malacca in 1511, driven by the insatiable desire for spices. This marked the beginning of centuries of European colonization. The Spanish followed, establishing a foothold in the Philippines. Later, the Dutch created the incredibly lucrative Dutch East Indies in what is now Indonesia, monopolizing the spice trade. The British carved out their territories in Malaya and Burma, while the French took control of Indochina, encompassing Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia. Thailand, then known as Siam, stands out as the only nation in the region that largely avoided direct European colonization, strategically navigating the geopolitical landscape between the British and French empires. Colonization brought both profound changes and immense challenges. European powers restructured economies to serve their own interests, extracting resources like tin, rubber, and oil, and establishing vast plantations. They introduced new administrative systems, legal frameworks, and educational models, often at the expense of indigenous traditions and cultures. Infrastructure like railways and ports were built, but primarily to facilitate colonial exploitation. The social fabric of many societies was dramatically altered, creating new classes and exacerbating ethnic tensions that would ripple for generations. Resistance to colonial rule was constant, taking many forms, from quiet defiance to armed uprisings. The 20th century saw the slow unraveling of colonial empires, fueled by burgeoning nationalist movements and the weakening of European powers after two world wars. The Japanese occupation during World War II, Tobe. Brutal, inadvertently weakened the grip of the European colonialists and further ignited nationalist sentiments. After the war, independence movements gained unstoppable momentum. Indonesia fought a fierce struggle against the Dutch. Vietnam endured decades of conflict against both the French and later the Americans. Other nations achieved independence through less violent means, but all had to grapple with the legacy of colonialism. Rebuilding economies, forging national identities from diverse populations, and navigating the complexities of the Cold War. Today, Southeast Asia is a dynamic and diverse region, home to bustling economies, rich cultural heritage, and a vibrant political landscape. From the ancient temples of Angkor to the modern skylines of Singapore, its history is a testament to the resilience and adaptability of its people. It's a story of continuous transformation, rooted in deep historical connections, and looking forward to an exciting future. Thank you so much for joining me on this incredible journey through the history of Southeast Asia. I hope you found it as fascinating as I do. If you enjoyed this deep dive, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more historical content, and let me know in the comments what other regions you'd like us to explore next. Your support truly means the world. See you in the next one.